Do I get the first pick since you got the first pick yesterday?
No.
Let's
go back to our... Nope, this is how the rules work. If you don't like it, speak to the manager.
I think these are stupid rules.
Well, they're certified by one Mr. Thomas Thibodeau. Are you disagreeing with Thomas Thibodeau?
Tom, you have not consulted with
You
Tom
would never.
Thibodeau about
How do you
this.
know? How do you know?
This is stupid.
Can you prove that?
I guess call me Cam Reddish because I think this is stupid.
Apparently. Or Evan Fournier. Or Obi Toppin, for that matter.
I don't know. I don't think they
Interesting,
ever...
the trend of people not liking Thomas Thibodeau. Okay, ready?
This is my number.
Yes, this is your card. High card
Great.
draw. John's card is a queen of hearts. All right, you're trending in the right direction. Except that I got the three of clubs. Three of spades. All right. Yeah, so you get the first pick, John.
Yeah. Sorry if we wanted suspense out of this. It's going to be Jokic and Murray.
I'm glad you went there.
It's the only proper choice. I mean, I got well, hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, yes. Are there other possible choices? Sure. I think given this exercise, we're trying to build a champion for this upcoming season. The fact that these two guys just won a championship is pretty notable. But I'll even go a step further. And so I wrote something for the newsletter last week in which I did not quite a future power rankings, but I'm like, what team would I want in terms of roster, financial flexibility, obviously factoring the age of their players and contract situation and all that kind of stuff, and draft assets and all this, young talent. What team would I want for the next from years, not next year, but going starting with the 2024-25 season and then going the next 3 seasons after that. So a 4-year time frame. This is what a reader had asked me to consider. I think not only are the Nuggets clearing away the number one pick for the NBA as a whole right now, I think the last time we had a team as well positioned for the next half decade as the Nuggets are right now, I think you do have to go back to the Warriors in 2000, whatever you want to say, 2014, I guess. And I think then the only other contender for me, really maybe the last 15 years would be the Heat in the first year of the Heatles. Once they sign those 3 guys. Other than those 2 squads, I don't know that I think anybody is as well positioned for future success. And it's because, and this is my long-winded way of saying, not only is Jokic the best player in basketball, and Murray is a guy who's still improving, I don't know that there are 2 players when you're factoring talent, mesh as well together and are as perfect together. I understand neither of these guys is particularly adept at defense, but with what they're able to do on the offensive end, I'm not even sure how much it matters because they do have an ecosystem that works for these guys. I know you could tell me Steph and Draymond, they have the best mind meld in the history of basketball, but Draymond's his talent, his skill has dropped to the point where it's I'd rather have Jokic and Murray. And other guys where you can maybe give me a talent argument where I suspect you're going with your first pick, the synergy isn't there. So when you're combining both synergy and talent, to me, that's what makes them an easy choice.
See, I'm not even going synergy and talent for my first pick. I would have taken Jokic and Murray as if I had the one pick as well. I do think there's an argument for 2 to 3 others, but there's an age factor, which is why I think, to your point, the Nuggets are so set up that both of their
you're talking for my thing for the next 5 years.
For your point, they're both set up as both of their stars are under 30, and they're able.
Murray's 26 years old.
I'm aware. I'm saying
it seems he's been around forever. I know he had the ACL, but he's a young player.
The fact that every single other option that I could have made a case for, either one or both are in their 30s, speaks to your point. So I agree. Which is why it makes my decision a little bit tough. But because I'm solely talking about the 2023-24 season.
Just this season.
Just this upcoming season. So I just need one healthy year out of both of them. I will take LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Wow. When you gave it that preface, that's not the direction.
You thought I was going to the other LA.
Well, you don't have to. Okay. Well, so I don't think this is crazy, because if we're talking duos that we have seen win a title and we're looking at the Western Conference, there are only 3 choices, and LeBron and AD I took one of them and you just took one of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a one to Golden State that did win a title.
I said there are 3 choices.
Oh, 3 choices. I heard 2. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Between AD's, to me, he's a perpetual health concern guy. I think he's earned that.
And at this point, LeBron is, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Also, AD's inconsistency. I mean, just now in the playoffs, like, defensively, he's always there. Offensively, like, every other game, every third game, it's like, where was AD tonight? What, like, why was he not a factor on offense at all? That's
a Bam Adebayo thing, though. Like, we don't appreciate how good he is on the defensive end, to the point where we're like, why weren't you also dominant offensively? I thought AD actually had like a extremely
he was
solid
excellent
playoffs
for the most part, but he had some games where he was not really there fully. And then the biggest thing is, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's year 21 for LeBron.
Well, yeah, that's why for both of them I need 1 year. If we're talking about a 5-year argument, then I'd probably go to Phoenix,
it's not the 1 year thing for me. It's the 4 playoff rounds.
I thought they gave the Nuggets the best.
They gave Nuggets a really good series.
Yeah,
it was a sweep.
I know it was a sweep, but it was 4 close games. Maybe a bounce here, a bounce there, and we're literally talking about either a 2-2 series headed back to Denver, or like I do know that there's a team in Phoenix that pushed the Nuggets.
Well, I was about to say
makes it a different argument, but I also thought the Lakers actually had 4 really competitive games, whereas there were a couple blowouts in the Nuggets and Suns series.
I'll see your 4 close games, and I will raise you 2 wins over the team that won the championship, and I'll take KD and Booker.
Okay. They're the other choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are. Well, I'm not gonna say anything. I think I know where you're going with this next pick, but actually,
so it's not so much where I'm going with this next pick as far as like which team. It's which person to pair with Steph Curry.
Okay, yes, that's why. But that's why he's 4th, because I think you could make the argument that after Jokic, Steph Curry is the second most impactful player in the Western Conference when it comes to playoff time, when it comes to winning playoff series, when it comes to winning big playoff games. But the who do you pair him with is an interesting factor here. And you could give me arguments for literally 4 different guys.
Clay was really bad in the playoffs this year.
He was atrocious in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he's had 2 major injuries, and he's 30. He's going to be 33?
Be 33. Yeah, 33 this year. He's a year younger than me. 2 years younger than me. But 2 years younger than KD, too. Even with all of that, he still had he shot 37% from 3. We're like, oh, that was awful. Meanwhile, we just watched the Knicks in the playoffs. Did shoot 39% from the field, though. So it's
you don't have to go with Steph here, by the way.
Why?
I'm not going to. I'm not saying anything. I'm reasserting the rules, and one of the rules is not Andrew Claudio must take the Warriors.
We're talking about trying to win the title this year, right?
Yes. Listen, there are other reasonable choices here. That's all I would proffer to you.
So now I'm going to play this out because there's a health concern in the other LA team that I think is far more of a concern than any Clay or Draymond argument I would make or concern.
So you're leaning towards Draymond.
I'm leaning toward Clay, to be honest, but I'd probably Draymond's just a complete zero on offense.
He doesn't want to shoot.
Right.
Generally doesn't shoot very well. That's
I recognize every single thing he does to get Steph open, the chemistry, like you said, the synergy he has with Steph. There is a defensive side of the ball that he is still elite at. I agree with all of that. I'll just tell you right now, I go Steph Draymond. I'm leaning Steph Clay, though. I got to be honest. I'm leaning. But
you love Clay. You've always been a Clay guy.
Right. I like guys that he's the antithesis of James Harden. We don't have how many 2 of 11 elimination performances from Klay Thompson. We have Game 6 Clay. The reason that Kevin Durant went to the Warriors is because Klay Thompson showed up in Game 6 against OKC.
Yes, he did do that 7 years ago.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that's why I've always loved Klay. That's the only response I was giving you.
Jalen Brunson was in college.
John, you asked me, you said I love Klay Thompson. Yeah, I listed his resume. That's all I did. I didn't say it had anything to do with 2023.
Fine.
You know?
Who you picking?
I'm trying to play out who else to pick other than the Clippers, because there's no other duo that I would even consider for winning the title this year. Okay. And if you're going with the person you think is Michael Jordan, then
I don't think he's Michael stuff.
Yes, I'm not. Luka should not be. I have him so far down on my cheat sheet. And I get it that Kyrie is the other teammate, but we'll talk about availability concerns, you know. I need you to make the play in before I put you in the title conversation. I'll go Steph and Clay.